women. Okay, we're being recorded. Thank you for that. Uh, I'm also admitting everyone that comes in at the same time. So SoundGirls is an amazing resource for supporting women and BIPOC LGBTQIA people in the entertainment industry. And I am a part of this. I'm so happy to be here today. I am, just a second. I'm so sorry. All right, I think we're here. I need to take a breath. There we go. I'm curious, as I get started and introduce myself, where are all of you from? If you could enter your city or your chat or your country into the chat, I would appreciate that. I am located in San Diego, California, and I started working in the music industry in 2000. I started my business in 1999. I am a holistic health practitioner and a stress management specialist. So I started out as the backstage massage therapist way back. Gosh, this is my 27th season starting. And there's so many buttons to hit right now. I'm sorry. Look at where everyone's from all over the world. And started as the backstage massage therapist. In 2007, I started working on production teams, and I still do both. I have toured 3 times throughout my decades of career. I did an arena tour where I was production assistant and IT. I did a stadium tour where I was logistics coordinator, and a shed tour where I was backstage coordinator. My educational background is I'm a holistic health practitioner, and I went to UCSD to learn to teach mindfulness, specifically the neuroscience of stress, of how it affects us and how we can make better choices. So that's why I created this program. I believe that, well, our industry is very fast-paced. It's very stressful. It's very high pressure. And when that happens, it affects our nervous systems, right? So when we can actually learn to recognize our stress and have healthier reactions to it, then we will have a longer career. We will be surrounded by, well, we will mentally feel healthier and happier, but we will also start to surround ourselves with more like-minded people, because that's what happens when you start to work on yourself. When you are calm, people around you feel that and that they want you around. So I believe in my whole practice that healing can be fun and healing can happen fast. You can switch your mindset quickly. And I created MicroMoments to help us in the industry, which is what we're going to be going over today. We're going to learn 5 different tools to help you come back to being grounded, centered, confident, to be able to handle this chaotic gig, even if you've only had 3 or 4 hours of sleep in between venues, or if somebody yells at you for some unnecessary reason, how to get back to being centered and grounded. So I created an online program called MicroMoments Unplugged. And if you stay here till the end, I'm going to gift it to everyone for free. We're also going to have 2 giveaways throughout. I didn't get a chance. I'll figure out the timing for that one. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a little game for us. And this brings us to stress management and staying calm. A lot of us feel that the chill, cool, calm person is natural and they just are that way. But no, it's actually a practice. It's a skill. It's a talent that you work on. It's like you're learning a new language, and this language is what you speak between your body and your mind. And the micromoments are designed to help you figure out what this language is and to adapt it into realistic ways that work with you in your lifestyle. So these techniques that we go through today and my entire practice is not set in stone. It is all about you, your lifestyle, your logic, your lived experiences, and the unique things that make you you, and being able to incorporate them into your life. Okay, cool. Looks like I'm on track with letting everybody in. So when the chaos happens, when unexpected things happen, like today with our tech problems, you are able to come back to center. You are able to still be the amazing human that you are. And that's what we're here for today. So I'm really happy you guys are here. I really appreciate your presence. And keep in mind throughout these that you adapt these to what works for you. And that's the right way. If you think, I don't want to do it this way, but I can do it this way, this feels good, then yes, you're doing it. You're doing the work. You are learning what works for you. And that is the cornerstone of my practice. So let me share my screen. Let's see here. And everyone, thank you for sharing where you're from. I love seeing from around the world because, as we all know, our industry, although it is small, it is also very global. Okay, let's share screen. I'm sorry, hold on. What is going on here? Found it. Share screen. All right. Are you guys seeing my Calm as a competitive tool? Thank you. I appreciate the thumbs up. All right. Okay, now it flipped to the next screen. Are we on track here? All right, thank you, everyone. So I explain what micromoments are. They are 90-second techniques that help you to regulate your nervous system. And they're based off of my unique background of holistic health, mindfulness, and science. I love science. I bring it into everything that I do. And here is the QR code for MicroMoments Unplugged. So if you stick around to the end, I'm going to gift that to you. That is an online course that is constantly being built directly. It's directly for us in the industry. So it's something you could do on your own time. It's going to be there forever, and it's going to be constantly growing. I'm working on my next chapter. I only have one chapter up right now. The next chapter is going to be how to handle a long show day. I'm going to do one on how to handle slow season, do on how to handle the unexpected, like when your gig drops, 3 days before you're supposed to leave, or something like that. So in this industry, we all know these pictures, right? You're inside stage, you're watching everything. But for this class today, this work that I teach is not hippy dippy fairy princess woo, which is why I picked this picture of the lovely lady standing in a field of flowers. This is real lived experiences that I've had, and I've created this content to help you live the life of your dreams, to have your dream job. We all say we're living the dream, but are we really, when we're stressed out and we're sick and we're injured and we are losing our relationships and struggling with all the things that humans struggle with these long days that we work, with the chaotic schedule? Who has time to meditate for 30 minutes a day or to take an hour yoga class? We don't. But when you go to talk to a therapist or to talk to someone that's not in an industry, they're like, oh yes, you just do this thing and your life will be good. And it's like, well, no, I only have 3 hours to sleep, and then I have to go and be in my top game again. So that's why the micro moments are important. It's a practice you incorporate into your lifestyle, and then you will become the calmest person in the room. Your professional skill set will increase. And why is that? Because calm reads as competence. When you are stable and steady, people feel safe around you, and you will tend to have like an authoritative presence. And that's not authoritative as in a bossy way. It is grounded, it is stable, it's calm, and it will make everyone think they've got this and I can trust them. But how can we be stable and steady if we are an overworked ball of stress and our personal life is falling apart and we still have to show up and smile to do the job, right? So we all know that this career takes more than just talent. And this is what I want to bring to the industry. Now, even though I love science, this is not a neuroscience lesson. We're not really going to be going into the specifics of what is happening to the body and mind, but I do want to talk about very briefly, like what happens when we get stressed out so that we have a better understanding of what is going on in our bodies for these micro moments. When life gets crazy, when you have to rush and rush and rush, your body is flooded with the fight or flight hormones, the emergency hormones, right? We've all been there, we've all felt it. And those hormones are great when you need them, like if there's an emergency or if there's a, okay, I think that worked. Sorry, more people are entering the room. So the fight or flight hormones are great. We need them. We have to have them, but they're terrible for trying to make a calm decision, for trying to make a logical decision. And you can have all the talent in the world. You can have all the skill set, all the right equipment, but when you're stressed out, those hormones take over on that part of your brain. And so it is harder to think clearly and react quickly and logically. What we want are the feel-good hormones, right? We want the dopamine, the serotonin, the endorphins, and the stress hormones block those feel-good hormones. So what we're doing with the micro moments is we are learning ways that work individually for you to generate those feel-good hormones. Then you can find ways to think more clearly, to feel more balanced, and to stay healthy throughout, no matter what you're going through. You can do this. You got this. And you just know it. Stress changes everything, right? We need stress because it motivates us. Stress helps us to achieve the things that we want to achieve. We want to have these goals, these dreams. We want to book these gigs, but too much stress long-term takes a toll on your body and mind. How many of you have been in this industry for a long time or even seen the older folks start to break down because of stress? Like, I know I was thinking about tour managers I've been out with, and they're no longer here. And they're about my age where I'm at now when they passed away. And it's like, we can do better. We can do better in this industry. When your career is fast-paced and high pressure, this adds up on our biology. And when it adds up on your biology, on your body and your mind, parts of us start to shut down. Stress affects your immune system, your reproductive system, and your digestive system. It also affects the logical portion of your brain. And we all need more logic, don't we? Like, pretty much everyone needs more logic these days. So I'm going to go through a very brief list of how stress shows up mentally, emotionally, and physically. And if any of these resonate with you, I want you to write in the chat, like, yes, this one is it. It shows up in my stomach or whatever it is, so that we can see that this is a shared experience. We are all dealing with stress as it comes up. So now, let me see. There we go. Stress shows up mentally as brain fog. We've all been there. The inability to make decisions, spiraling, ruminating, overthinking, or overwhelm. It also shows up with poor timing, when you think you can do all these things in a small set of time, or you put off, your time management is just not right. Emotionally, stress can show up as irritation or irritability, numbness or disassociation. So that is when you're just not feeling anything. It can also show up as hypervigilance, when you are over aware and you're watching everything and you just don't feel safe because you have to be vigilant to be watching out for the things. So that can include walking on eggshells feeling. Emotionally, it can also hit with rejection sensitivity, where you tell a friend, hey, I'm going to catering for a cup of coffee, and do you want one? And they say, no, I don't want one. But in your head, you're like, they don't want to be my friend anymore. Rejection sensitivity is a real thing, and it can be linked to being high stress. So emotionally, stress and constant stress takes away the good emotions like joy, excitement, love, passion, the zest for life, curiosity, the want to explore, the want to learn. Physically, stress can show up as digestive problems. It affects your stomach, it affects your liver, it affects your kidneys. So it affects your organs. Muscle tension, body aches and pains, reproductive problems. It affects men and women with reproduction and hormonal balance. Also, lowered immunity. How many times have we worked and worked and worked or gone on tour, and then you come home from tour and you finally catch that flu that's been going around? That has happened to me every time. And I try and do the things to not have that happen, but it does. And that there's a power with having adrenaline, because it does keep you healthy so you can achieve the things you want. But then when you go and rest, your immune system is like, hey, guess what? You've been ignoring me. And this is also how the micro moments help. And then let's see, sleep. This can, high stress can affect either not sleeping, not good sleep quality, or sleeping too much when you're, I'm not going to set an alarm. And then you wake up 14 hours later, like, oh, I should have set an alarm, or I only slept 2 hours when I had my chance to sleep 8 and I couldn't. And then another one that is not really looked at is body temperature regulation. So if you start to feel really cold on a hot day, or if it's a really cold day and you just can't warm up, that's from stress. So does any of this sound familiar? Does any of this resonate with anybody? Drop it in the chat if you've had that experience. I remember the last tour I went on, we were in the South somewhere and it was hot outside, but inside the venue, they kept it at like 65. And I could not warm up. And I had my coat, but then I also had towels and wrapped them all around me just to try and warm up. But then I'd go outside and still in the sun, I couldn't warm up. And that was when I realized I needed sleep. So my day off, I slept as much as I could to try and balance that out. So yeah, as you can see in the chat, we all have experienced this. Getting sick, sleep problems, poor time management. I mean, I already have poor time management, and then you throw stress in and it's out the door. The brain fog. Yeah. Oh, skin sensitivity. Kristen, thank you for saying that. Yeah, skin sensitivity, sensitivity to clothing or materials, and also light and sound sensitivity too. Brilliant. That's your nervous system. So as you can see, we all experience these things. And oh, Bobby, thank you for bringing that up. Craving sugar and salt, craving the bad things, or craving the fun things like drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, the things, shopping, the things that we go to that might not be healthy for us. But that's a whole other lesson. So thank you for bringing that up, Bobby. Yep, short-term memory. Memory problems. I like that. The muscle tension. All right, on that note, Kate, thank you for bringing up muscle tension, because this brings us to our first micro moment. There we go. So I am a massage therapist. I started my practice in '99, and I've been working backstage as a backstage massage therapist since 2000. When the shutdown happened, I helped my clients feel better over Zoom. So I came up with a class to help you massage your neck, shoulders, jaw, and head. Here, we're going to do a shoulder massage. So as we do this massage, we are not, you're not really massaging. Wait, where did you all go? Oh, I found it. Okay, I hit the wrong button. We're not really using our hands and fingers. What we're going to be doing is using stretch and the breath to help yourself relax. So with this, pain is subjective. Your level of deep tissue could be different than someone else's level of deep tissue, and your level of pain and what feels good is individually your own also. So I want you to only keep yourself in that good type of pain, like the, oh, this feels good, not the, ouch, this is going to take me into shooting pain, a headache, dizziness, lightheadedness. I want you to keep yourself safe. And this is also part of how to keep yourself from making yourself worse, from making your pain worse. That's it. If you have mobility issues, you can accommodate yourself however you need. If this is something that you feel doesn't work for you, then awesome, you do that or don't do it, because this is what this practice is all about, is figuring out these techniques that work for you. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna move my screen a little, I think that's better. I want you to lock your fingers and your wrist, and you're going to be finding the trapezius on the top of your shoulder, and you could go across the shoulder or on the same side. This is up for you to feel comfortable. Now, you're not going to be squeezing with your fingers, and you're not going to be moving your wrist. We're keeping our hands totally locked. And when you are feeling around on your shoulder, remember, whatever feels better on the same side or across, you can try it out, see what you have mobility issues. When you found a spot that feels good, it could be out towards the side, it could be out towards the neck. You could even use both hands like I have in my picture on the screen. You're going to be pulling down with the elbow. So wait, let me move my camera a little bit more. So this is the motion. You're pulling this way and then dropping your ear to the opposite shoulder. So find the spot that feels good, pull down, drop the ear to the opposite shoulder, and then take a big deep breath in. If you want, you could take a couple deep breaths if that feels good for you. If you have the urge to move your hand, you're like, oh, I want to try it up more towards the neck, I want to move it back here, then you're doing it right. This is exactly the practice we're trying to do right now. And it is the lungs, it's the breath that's doing the massage. You're just providing the resistance and the stretch. And then when you're ready, very slowly bringing the head back up, and we'll work on the other side. So again, locking the finger, locking the wrist, they're stable, finding that side that feels good for you. And then dropping your ear to the shoulder, and then taking a deep breath in. All right. So coming back out of that practice slowly, 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 would anyone like to share what they're noticing from that practice? Maybe, excuse me, were you noticing any relief? Maybe noticing a difference between left and right? Notice you need to schedule a massage as soon as you can. How did that feel for you? When you do this work, or when you do this little micro moment, you are, one, helping to relieve your physical tension, and you're also increasing blood flow to the tight muscles, or through the tight muscles and up into the brain, which we all need more of, right? And this can help with headaches, neck and shoulder tension. It can also help with brain fog, because what you're doing is you're signaling to the brain that you are wanting to relax, and then you're giving yourself that gift of relaxation. And that was just in a few moments of one breath. Let's see, you felt the tension leave your body. Awesome. Isaac, thank you for saying that. Did you know, Isaac said that he didn't realize how, or they didn't realize how heavy their head is. And the human head weighs anywhere from 8 to 13 pounds. Can you imagine a bowling ball on these tight muscles? So this is something that I bring into my mentoring and consultations, is showing you how to help yourself with that, as with micro moments. Let's see, grounded, sweet, more connected. It's easy to be disconnected. Yes, thank you, thank you. And your brain feels clear and the breath is deeper. Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for sharing. All right, the next slide. Oh, someone's in the room. There we go. All right. Again, this is not a science lesson, but we are going to talk about how the nervous system reacts and how it can show up. Now that we're just a little bit more relaxed and grounded and centered, we can talk about this, because it's time to fight. We all know fight part of stress. You become argumentative, you become defensive, you might blame others or the gear immediately, you jump to conclusions, or even have aggressive body language, like your clenched face, or you're getting in someone's clenched fists, or you're getting in someone's face. And then there's also flight, wanting to walk off the job, wanting to hide, hiding in the bathroom away from people, mentally checking out or avoiding that difficult conversation, rushing through a job to get it over with, or just telling yourself over and over again, okay, 1 week left in this tour, I can do this. Flight, having that awareness of when that comes up. Then there's freeze. Freeze is the deer in the headlights. You're staring at the problem or situation. You're completely unable to move or speak. But freeze can also show up not just with movement, but with your brain. You start to feel numb, spaced out, and the chaos is happening, and there's nothing here. And that's a difficulty processing your instructions, or the difficulty processing what you need to do to handle everything. And that can also shut down what you see, what you hear, or being able to talk, because we're in freeze mode. And freeze is such an interesting one, that you think you have the training to handle these things, but when it happens, it's there. And now fawning. Fawning is a safety mechanism, over apologizing for things that aren't your fault, people pleasing at the expense of your own boundaries or safety, and ignoring your own boundaries or safety just to keep the peace because you don't feel safe. So being a human is messy, and these are not all cut and dry. You can have a combination of these nervous system reactions. You can be in fight and also be in fawn. You can be in freeze and then jump into flight. And we don't know how our body reacts until we learn to recognize it in ourselves. So this is where the nervous system regulation comes in. When stress happens, our body does this reaction: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. There's a tiny pause of awareness, and this is when we choose to respond. Now, this tiny pause of awareness between when the event happens to when you choose to respond, this is where regulation comes in. You can always choose new ways to respond. You can break the patterns, and this is where the micro moments can help you with this. When you learn to recognize your unique signals early on, you then gain the split second needed to choose regulation over escalation, over making things worse. So when you start to recognize these patterns and how it uniquely happens for you, you're like, oh, I'm going to do this instead. I know how to respond differently. Oh, there we go. All right. So the micro moments are to help you learn to recognize this stress within yourself, and also to give you new tools to be able to live our dream lives, have our dream jobs. And this is why we're all here, right? Just being here, we are on the forefront of an amazing wave that's happening in the industry to help us bring mental health awareness to the forefront. So again, I'm happy you all are here. And this brings us to our next micro moment: grounding. Grounding through the feet is what we're going to be doing here, but I didn't want to put a picture of feet up at the top because it's feet, hands. We all have hands, but you can choose your hands if you want to. With this practice, we're going to take 3 slow, deep breaths. With the first breath, feel your toes, and you can wiggle your toes to help feel each toe touch the other. With your second breath, feel your socks or shoes. And with the third breath, feel the surface beneath you. So let's try it all together. So if your feet aren't flat on the floor, actually, you know what? Your feet don't have to be flat on the floor, because I want you to adapt it to what works for you. All right. So with the first breath, direct the attention to your toes. Second breath, direct the attention to your socks or shoes. And the third breath, feel the surface that your feet are resting on. And maybe observe what that surface is. Is it wood, concrete, carpet, dirt? Are you outside? And how this grounding moment works is that it anchors you into the moment. It pulls you out of your brain, these mental loops and drops you back into your physical body. And the reason I chose feet for this is because our feet are the furthest away from our heads. But if hands, you could do the same technique. You want to feel 3 different things. You want to feel the, when you feel your skin, you're bringing yourself back into your body. When you feel textures, whatever you're touching, like, this pen, I'm touching this pen, you are telling your brain that there's something here, and you are processing sensory data, which can override the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. Now, I love this one because it can be done anywhere at any time. You can do it while you're talking to somebody. You could do it while you are unloading a truck. You can do it at night when you're trying to fall asleep. It's a very stealthy one. You don't have to close your eyes. You're really just taking 3 deep breaths and directing your attention to your body. So this is a great one that you could add into a routine you already have. You can stack it with another task, like every time I grab a cup of coffee, I'm going to do this. Every time I get in line for catering, I'm going to do this. Every time I close my case, I'm going to do this. And that is how you start to train yourself for the for these micromoments to be effective long term. All right. So I said before that I want you to adapt these micromoments to you to figure out what works for you. So I'm curious at this point if there is anyone that did not like this one, that didn't work for you, that it just doesn't make sense, does not compute, and share it. So that way we make it a normal experience that these things don't always work for everyone. This when it comes to your health and wellness, there is not a cookie cutter cure all. We're all here to live our best lives in whatever way it feels right for you. And that is what I am trying to do, is to help you figure those things out. So if anyone would like to share how that, if that one didn't work, that'd be awesome. And also, yeah, we're at the halfway point. Okay. Let's see, there's a question. Peers of work, wondered where the second breath would go if you're barefoot, not calling like other times. All right, thank you for asking that. If you aren't wearing socks or shoes, maybe feel the temperature of your skin. Maybe feel the wind if there's wind. Maybe feel the ground 2 times. This is your way. You can adapt it to whatever feels right for you. So thank you for asking that question. Lily, thank you for sharing that when you're feeling sensory overload, this doesn't help. Right. So for that, if the tactile doesn't help, then we want to do other techniques that we can figure out will help you. And sensory overload is a nervous system reaction to whatever it is that's happening around us. And we're here to try and help ourselves figure out how to do it. Okay. So I have a couple of giveaways. That's what I'm trying to say. I got stuck in thinking about sensory overload. I have to come back to center. The first giveaway is I offer mentoring, where we customize these techniques for you, and I am going to be giving away a 3-session package. So I came up with a little fun thing because I didn't know how to do it on Zoom. I have, let's see, how many people are in the room? We have 53 participants in the room. So I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 53, and I want you guys to think of a number and drop it in the chat. Hold on, I'm going to write it down though. So I'm going to write it down and I'm going to drop it in the chat, and the first person who gets that number gets the 3 sessions. So let me write the number down. Wait, hold on. I see you already doing it. Okay, now go ahead. Oh, that's going too fast. Okay, let me scroll up. I like this. You guys are on it. Hold on, I have to go all the way back up. Okay, here we go. Found it. 42. So Alyssa Rodriguez. Oh no, I'm sorry, Nellie Corn, you did it first. You put 42 first. Nellie, all right. Nellie, I'm writing your number down or your name down. Can you please send me your email address and I will send you the information after this. Yay. Don't worry, there's one more. There's one more giveaway, big giveaway, and then everyone gets the MicroMoments unplugged. Okay, back to the good work we're doing. Now, sometimes we have to try and generate energy when we don't have it. We haven't slept. We have to be confident. We have to be charismatic. We have to have a tough conversation. And how do you do that when you don't feel it? This is when you can use your body as the remote control for your brain. Now, this is not acting and this is not faking it. When you fake it, when you act, you're telling yourself you're not safe. How can we do it so that we stay safe? Like, let's say you get called into management. You get that radio call or that text or that email, and you're like, your stomach drops, your heart starts to race, you might get super sweaty. You're like, your brain is spiraling. What did I do? Did something happen? We don't know what happened. How can you get yourself together so that the meeting with management is actually beneficial for you and for everyone around you because you're staying stable? You do this technique that we're going to go over next, and then you genuinely embody confidence and calm, and your brain will follow. So this is a shortcut to changing your posture and your body. And then, oh, I missed it. There we go. We'll do the micro moment first, then we'll explain it. We'll go back. When you change your posture, when you change your body, when you change your posture and calm yourself down with words and the slow, deep breath, you are signaling to yourself that you got this. So this micro moment, really push your feet into the ground. And this is just an interesting concept because sometimes you have to like move your feet around to feel it. Just push the ground. And what you're doing there is going back to grounding. You're directing your attention to your feet. And then straighten up your posture, even if you are over exaggerating. You're like, okay, all right. Because as you're walking, you can do this. You can feel each step. You can straighten out your posture. And then look far away. And I'll explain the science of that after we do this moment. If you need to look out a window, look into a corner, look somewhere you don't go, just look far away, take a long, slow, deep breath and say, I belong here. I know what I'm doing. I've got this. And this is also where you can adapt these to what works for you. I'm qualified. I am meant to be here. This is my plan. I can do this. Whatever phrases work for you, do it. And now we'll go back to why this works. So this girl with her posture, what kind of energy does she embody? If you walked up to her, what would you feel? That is how our posture works on a room. It's a broadcast. So when you stand upright, when your chin is up, your chest is high, you're taking deep breaths, you're making eye contact, you look calm, confident, and put together. You're sending a stability signal. Now, eye contact. So we practice looking far away. And why we're doing that is because when we get stressed out, our eyes tunnel, we go into tunnel vision. So looking far away opens that up a little bit, tells the brain, oh, I can make these decisions. And making eye contact with other people lets them know that you are listening, you're a willing part of this conversation, you are present. Now, you can also do this technique by looking at yourself in the mirror. So if you are getting prepared for a huge meeting or a big day, go to a mirror, look yourself in the eyes and say the words, I know what I'm doing. I got this. This is going to happen. Whatever those words are that resonate for you in that moment. And then stability. When chaos hits, everyone looks for the person who is calm, who's stable, who's balanced. And then you become a reference point and you end up leading the rooms without saying a word. So by doing all of these together, you're tricking your nervous system into believing you actually do have it together. And that is how it resonates to the people around you. And so the more you practice it, the easier it is to go from being a nervous wreck to being confident and calm as you walk to the management office or as you go into a meeting, as you try and do these things so that you can live your best life. So let's see here, because we jumped ahead. Where are we at time? Being mindful of time. All right, perfect. Now, we've all been here before, right? Overthinking, ruminating, spiraling. We're like the guy on the left, just things are happening in the head. They won't stop. And we want to be like the gal on the right, having a nice cup of tea and then sleeping so good and peacefully, with a little smile on your face, right? That's what we want. And sometimes that doesn't happen because our brains just won't let it go. We try to make it a point to stop. But then how do you do that? How do you override that loop? So overthinking is analyzing a 2-second mistake for hours. You're trying to find a logical solution to whatever it is that happened. Ruminating is the woulda, coulda, shoulda, over and over and over again. I should have done this. I should have said that. I would have done this. I could have done this if they did that. Ruminating. And then there's spiraling. Spiraling is when one bad moment becomes your whole identity. I missed that text message. Now I'm a loser and everyone's going to fire me and everyone's going to hate me. I might as well just quit and go home. We've all been there, and that happens when we're exhausted and stressed out. So how do we interrupt that loop? And why do we want to interrupt that loop? Why are we here? Because you're going to become the amazing, talented person that you always see yourself, but embody it at all times. So this is why we're all here, right? Being resilient in this industry is not about avoiding. It's about being the calm within the storm. It's about how fast you can find your center again. And it is about how you can be the true professional you're meant to be while handling the stress, not avoiding the stress. And how we do that is our fourth micro moment, the manual override. Where is it? Okay. The moment that you realize you are overthinking, spiraling, ruminating, call it out, label it, use objective language. I am having a thought about the thing I said. I am spiraling about the situation. I am overthinking this. And when you label it, you make it subjective as opposed to objective. No, you make it objective as opposed to subjective. So it's about that over here. It's not about this in here. This simple act shifts you from emotions to logic because you're not the mistake anymore. You're the person observing it. Touch something. Touching something is an anchor. Grab a water bottle, touch it, hold it. It could be helpful. I put the picture of the ice because it could be helpful to have a temperature change. Grab a piece of ice, hold it, direct your attention to how that feels. And when you do that, you are creating the physical sensation to bring you out of the mental loop. Then you say a right now fact. Right now, I am sitting in a chair. Right now, I'm wearing a black shirt. It is sunny outside. I am going to have lunch after this. State a fact, any fact, something that is real and true and not bullshit. And then take a deep breath. And this deep breath is your purge. You can take as many deep breaths as you want, but this deep breath intentionally lets it go. So label, touch, say right now fact, and then take a deep breath and let it go. And you can do this one in any order that feels right for you. You can take the deep breath while holding the water and drink the water while thinking about the right now fact. I am drinking this water. When you make it sort of robotic about this, you are telling your brain that it is safe to get out of the loop and to come back down to this moment. So, does this one resonate with anyone? And do you feel like sometimes on a bad day, you need to do this like 3, 4, 5 times a day? Because I know I've been there. I wish I knew these techniques the last time I toured, because now that I am creating them, I'm like, oh, that one night when I couldn't sleep and I needed to, I could have done this. Or that one time when I had to deal with this difficult band member, I could have done this, stuff like that. All right. Where are we at? It is time now for our next giveaway. Woohoo, we're going to do the same thing. Christy, yeah, you could do this on stage during the show. Wait, hold on. Lily, don't jump ahead. Let me see how many people are here. Okay, we're down to 50. Let me think of a number. Okay, I wrote the number down. Go ahead. Drop in the chat. I forgot to say what the prize was. I offer consultations to help you have a healthier time on the road. And this is for a free consultation. So the mentoring is 3 50-minute sessions. The consultation is 1 2-hour session. And I include PDFs and fun stuff to help you have these techniques ready at your need when you need them. I'm looking for the number. I'm scrolling down. I don't see it yet. I don't see it yet. There it is. Wait, it's going too fast. Kyle Marriott, 11. Okay, Kyle, if you could please send me your email, I will message you afterwards. Awesome. Yay. All right. So for our last micro moment for today, we learned how to help ourselves relax physically, mentally, emotionally. But now, how can you be a calm presence for somebody around you when they are losing it? When you see a friend get yelled at by a patron, when you see someone having a bad day, they just got that text message from home that they never thought they would ever get, but they have to be on stage in a few minutes. How can you help them regulate their nervous system? Calm is contagious. When you have the calm presence, you can help people around you, but you cannot pour from an empty cup, and you certainly can't calm a storm if you're caught in the same wind. So using this micro moment can help you to de-escalate the situation. So the first thing you want to do is regulate yourself first. So you become calm, or you assess what you can bring to the situation. So it's not even about being calm. Sometimes you'll know when you get there. This is what we're training ourselves for. Support without escalation. When someone's yelling at us, or when we see someone getting yelled at, we want to jump in. We might want to yell back. We might want to match their intensity, but we don't want to do that. We want to switch it. We want to change the situation. You can do that by this practice that we're going to do, lowering the volume, slowing down the speech, changing your movements and your body language. And when you do that, you're going to be pulling them towards your calm rather than pushing them more into panic and escalation. Now, presence before advice, that means when someone is dysregulated, the logical part of their brain is offline. So they can't hear solutions. They can't figure out how to fix it. They might have no idea how to even answer questions. And so your job is simply to be a stable presence until you can help them to take the action they need. That's the steadiness before solutions. So we're not there to try and fix it. We're not there to try and discover what happened. We are there to provide a steady environment, allowing them to recover so that you all can solve the problem together. And I picked this picture because what we don't want to do when someone is stressing out is go after them like this, right? That's going to add to it. We want to be a calm presence for the stress. So how we do this when something happens to someone else around us. Now, the hand to the ribber sternum, this is totally something that you can adapt to yourself, but bring yourself down like, I am here, I'm in my body. Place your hand on your chest, or you could even like push your fingernail into your thumb or touch something like, what can I, oh, here, a Sharpie, like push the Sharpie into you just to like bring your attention back to your physical. You're here, acknowledging your own physical state. And then one slow breath. We all know the power of breathing slows you down. And if you do have your hand on the chest, feel the chest move, because again, brings you back in. And then deliver your first sentence at 80% speed and slowly. We're going to go over the sentences next. When you slow down, it helps them to slow down. After you say the first sentence, pause for 3. That pause creates a very safe harbor. You're slowing down your voice. You're giving the other person space to process. And it builds a tiny bit of trust when they are having a hard time being logical. So that can help the adrenaline to drop. So what kind of things do you want to say to somebody that is freaking out? You want to provide safe, grounding language. So all of these here are suggestions. You can adapt it to the moment, to the situation, but I'm right here with you. We are safe. We can slow this down. We can do this. Now, the tell me what you need is a tricky one, because if they are at the point where they don't know what they need, they don't know what happened, they don't know what is going on, then provide it for them. Let's get some water. Do you need to sit or stand? Provide a solution. Maybe they'll say, yes, I need to sit down and water sounds great. And then when that happens, they can make that 1% of a choice opens up the mind into, okay, I can make other choices. Also, water helps to flush away the stress hormones. So having them drink water helps. And dehydration is also a major aggravating factor to stress. So water is really a win-win and a go-to for when someone is stressing out. So safety isn't just, we create safety with our presence, with our tone of voice, and it signals to other people that they can be safe in our presence. And that is a huge gift. When you can be safe and calm and have solutions for the situations you're in, that is what will help you in your career in dealing with this chaotic, stressful industry that we all work in. So we've gone over 5 different techniques: the shoulder massage, the grounding technique, the claiming your space, generating your confidence, the manual override where you will break that feedback loop, and then how to help someone else with the slow first sentence. Was there any of these that you feel you can bring into your routine right away, like in this very second, or that you want to adapt, that you want to switch around like, oh, I think I can do this and this? Because remember, there's no wrong way to do this. I put instructions down, but they're basic guidance. Yeah. All right, go into the comments. Yes, thank you for that, Nelly. It's useful to offer suggestions like water, food, whatever, then open-ended, what do you need? What happened? Would this help? Yeah, and if they even can't decide what would help, just get a water and help with that. Get them to sit down if you don't have water nearby. All right, so the muscle relaxation, the grounding, the shoulder massage, awesome. Hey, you do claim your space. Great. Thank you everyone for sharing. Right, the shoulder massage is a popular one. I love what I do. I love my job. I've been doing massage for 27 years. Sweet, everyone, thank you for sharing. All right, so now, come on. This brings us to the end, and this is where I tell you about what I do. Now, I am not a salesy person. I'm not here to try and sell you a program or telling you should sign up, because this kind of work is completely, you have to want to do it. So I provide mentoring, the consultations. I want to do corporate keynotes. So if you guys know of any sort of company that you feel this could be beneficial from, please send them my way. And I just started this back in October. So this is brand new. This is my first workshop that I am hosting. And I want to get it out there, not just how to regulate your stress, but also the awareness of what it is that we deal with, so that we can start making those changes, so that the trickle effect can start to happen of, we can't work 19 hours and then have to be back in 2 hours. That's unrealistic. And we're seeing the effects of it long term. So please, any referrals would be awesome. Alexis, yeah, actually I contacted IATSE. They said they have too many programs this year and we're going to keep in touch. So this class is going to be recorded. It's going to be sent to everybody. And I'm going to send it to IATSE again, be like, hey, this is what I did just to keep in your records. So you guys are on the beginning of trailblazing. Like, I'm happy that you're here. So this um also once a year I host a holistic adventure retreat where we travel somewhere beautiful and exotic. It is all inclusive, and I believe that when you go on adventures you have fun and you learn about yourself. So this one coming up is in a year, actually. Come on, screen. There it is. El Salvador, March 3rd through 8th. And we are going to visit Mayan ruins. We're going to hike to a volcano. We're going to swim in waterfall pools, and everything is going to be about how to generate confidence, nervous system regulation, and so on and so forth. It's going to be amazing. But back to here. No, it is this screen. Okay. So with all that I do, if any of this sounds interesting to you and you think that this could be beneficial for you, let's set up a meet and greet and chat about how this could work for you. We will discuss if this is something logical, even if it's for this point in your life. Maybe you're heading off on tour and you're like, well, I want to do it in the fall. But even with the meet and greet, I'm going to show you how we can adjust these micro moments to what works for you, and the whole big gamut of what's available to you. So if you're interested, sign up for a meet and greet. I would really appreciate that. And now we're going to go to the prize for everybody. I have to, for the Micro Moments Unplugged, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Oh, going back to the chat, musicians unions. Yes, I'm contacting some musicians unions. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Jen and Maria. Yes, I would love to work with tours, even if it is just for a workshop. So Micro Moments Unplugged is my online course. And the code for all of you who are here today, which do not say, I'm not going to say out loud, because I found out that for Zoom, it is only, the chat is not in the video, and this is going to be recorded and put online, and this is only for you guys. So here's the code. Don't say it out loud. You can sign up for the course. It will be it will be built on as time goes on, as I can schedule in creating it. But it is MicroMoments specifically for our industry. And I want you all to please sign up and help have a happier and healthier career. So that brings us to the questions. Yeah, thank you, Carly. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Ooh, excuse me. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see. Rhiannon, resources for how to help. Yes, I am in chats with behind the scenes to do the same lecture. Oh, this is rad. Thanks for sharing that. See, excuse me, this is what I love about all of us here, because we're trying to live a happier, healthier life, right? Okay. So let's see. I have Nellie. I'm writing your email address down. Kyle, I can see your email address. Did you send it to me? Oh, Kate, any special thoughts for ADHDers? I am ADHD, high functioning. So I have lots of thoughts. They're very scattered. And oh, cool. Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, send me an email. Kate, if you want to chat about that, let's set up a meet and greet and we can totally explore it. I have some blogs out there about being ADHD in this industry too and how to manage that. So yeah. Oh yeah. And we can chat about other things in the meet and greet. Like I said, it's not a sales call. It's a how can we make this world a better place so that we are healthier and happier, right? And OCD. Yeah. Now, one thought I do have is that we ADHDers, neurodivergents, we are attracted to this industry because it is so fun and exciting, and it is a constant dopamine hit. And because it's a constant dopamine rush and the adrenaline and everything like that, it's so appealing to us. I know the first show I worked when I was 20, I was like, oh, this feels right. This feels like me. And I haven't been able to get away. And I'm 46 now. Well, I mean, not even I haven't been able to get away. I have wanted to stay. And I want all of you to also be doing this for 20, 30, 40 years. As long as you want. Oh yeah, Bobby, thank you for that. I am a teacher on Insight Timer. So if you do like my work, the app Insight Timer is I do live teachings on there, and I have recorded meditations. It's an app, and it's an amazing app. Even if you want to, where's the promotion button? There it is. For you to experience different fields of practice and theory. Like maybe you do like sound healing. Maybe you do like traditional Chinese medicine. Maybe you want to try all these different things. And Bobby is also on Insight Timer with a roadie meditation, which is how he and I met. So here's my screen, or my thing, my link. That's the word, link. There's Bobby. Bobby, do you have the link, or?
I'm actually not published yet because I want to clean it up.
Okay.
But it's a really solid 5.5 minute roadie meditation by another roadie. That's, I don't know. I sort of look at it as you wouldn't get out of your bunk, or your hotel room bed if you're on the road before you meditated to something. So be it mine, be it your thoughts for 3 minutes. And I don't mean to step on you, Jessica, but I just really want to share this with everybody. You know, tomorrow morning when you all get up, don't get out of bed, don't look at your phone, sit there for 2 minutes. Everybody's got 2 minutes. If you're that late, you got other problems. And just let it wash over you. Don't think about what you're going to do. what you're going to cook, what you're going to have for breakfast. Oh my God, I got to do this. Just enjoy that feeling of just waking up, and maybe it'll be a better start to your day. And Jessica, I'll share the meditation with you, and maybe you can distribute it because I'm not sure how to do it. So
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely put that
I
after.
didn't mean to step on your train. This is really wonderful for everybody, and I think even old dogs use new tricks. So Jessica, I recently quit something because I was starting to get a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress, and I think I learned a lot from when I left that tour 6 months ago, and it's made I've made a long journey. But listening to you talk today, I was thinking, where the fuck was I thinking when I didn't reach out and I didn't go inside, and I meditate and I'll be teaching yoga, so I have no excuse. But anyway, I digress. Everybody have a blessed day.
You're totally good, Bobby. Thank you for sharing. And I really resonate with how you said you didn't know what the fuck you were thinking, but we all do that because we love what we do, right? So thank you for sharing that. All right. So yes, it was brought into the chat about how we pretend that this stress doesn't exist, that we pretend that our health and wellness doesn't matter. And that is denial. Thank you for saying that, peers of work. And that is fake. And that's my mission, is to help us all learn how to keep it real and to keep it you. That's actually my motto, is together we're going to keep it real and we're going to keep it you. So thank you all for being here. I look forward to connecting in the future. And after this, once we get this recording downloaded and set up on YouTube, then I'm going to send it out in a newsletter. Also in the newsletter, I'm going to put some specials on. I haven't decided yet, actually, because I was working on this till like 12:30 last night, ADHD procrastination. So in the newsletter, there'll be some specials on the mentoring and consultations and the retreat. So thank you all for being here. This is really exciting. It's this dream I've had for the last 20 years, and it's incredible to see it finally coming to light and finally getting good support from organizations like SoundGirls. So if you don't follow SoundGirls, please do it. And I am beyond grateful for your presence, your participation, and for connecting. So thank you all for being here. Please, let's connect in real life. And I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure that you hydrate. Make sure you do something that puts a big smile on your face just for you. Maybe even if it's like a sweet treat or something. Do something good for you. Make those choices. Learn to regulate your nervous system and give yourself those rewards and those treats. All right. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate everything. Okay. All right. Bye. All right. Hey, Carrie. Yeah, I can hear you.
Now my audio is fine.
Oh my goodness. It just needed a warm up.
I think it had something to do with, hold on. I'm going to stop.